Good morning. It's Tuesday, the 28th of June, and myself, David Scriven, with Paul Rankin for the VSA Morning Miner. Good morning, Paul. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad. We're starting a bit late today, and you're with me. Was that because you were waiting at Wimbledon and you were there last night?
No, I wasn't at Wimbledon, I'm afraid. No, had a breakfast meeting, oil and gas this time.
Working hard. So let's kick off with picks, which we follow and have a buy rating on. Looks very interesting because they've increased production capacity at the MSP, and perhaps enlighten us a bit further on that.
Yes, that was part of the announcement they made back in December that they were going to start producing ilmenite concentrates, the titanium mineral, in addition to the zircon concentrates they already produce. They put that equipment in as part of their expansion process, and the press release put out is that they are, in fact, now producing those concentrates.
Very good. The other thing that caught my eye was Albemarle, which is planning a major US lithium processing plant. And the head of the division, Eric Norris, was painting a pretty positive picture and underpinning that decision. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that was interesting that they have selected or will select a site in the United States, as yet unconfirmed where that will be, in order to produce up to 100,000 tons annually of processed lithium. Doesn't say yet whether the plant will produce hydroxide or what the chemical will be as the precursor coming in. But they do plan to put it somewhere near rail and port capacity. And just pointing out, too, that this would be equivalent to essentially all of the production that they have, that they can currently supply a plant at the moment. So definitely a big expansion. It's part of their program in order to increase their annual production capacity fivefold out to 500,000 tons annually by 2030. Just to point out, too, that 100,000 tons of capacity, that is equivalent to what is the Tees Valley project here in the UK is intending to ultimately have as a capacity as well, Tees Valley being a VSA client as well.
Yeah, so pretty bullish bet on America's all-electric future, I'd say. So, but very encouraging. So then in other news, there was BHP. There was a presentation, social value.
Yes, that's right. It's an update on their social value framework given today, and it's a principles-based document, much like what you see in the UN Sustainability Goals. They have selected 6 social value pillars specifically to concentrate their company on, one being decarbonization, another the environment, another indigenous peoples partnerships, workforce, communities, and supply chains. And they have set some targets individually across those different pillars. Not too detailed as far as what those targets are to be or how they will be achieved, but one is to make sure that they have regenerative water and land reclamation underway all the time, essentially on at least 30% of their assets by 2030.
Interesting. So we'll see how that transpires. And then, excuse me, a name that is well followed in the UK, Rainbow Rare Earths. So some news on the flow sheet there.
Right, Rainbow Rare Earths, same quoted company, which has production of rare earths in Africa, confirming their extraction flow sheet for their plant that they intend to put in on the Phalaborwa phosphate tailings, which contain enriched rare earths in South Africa. This particular plant, they're going to use an ion exchange resin along with ion chromatography after the leaching process in an acronym that comes down to a CIX, a CIC sort of a process. Now that they're selecting that simply because it involves fewer processing steps than current technologies for separating out the valuable rare earths. And as a result of having fewer processing steps, the plant as overall capex should be lower.
Good stuff. Well, perhaps unless there's anything else you'd like to add to the mix, we might wrap it up here because we're sort of just over our allotted time slot, sir.
I did see on the wires just out here that the Casino Copper project from Western TSX listed Western Copper has posted their feasibility study on that Yukon copper project that's been known for a couple of decades. $3.3 billion is the estimated capex for an 18% post-tax IRR.
Very good, sir. Perhaps we'll draw it to a close. And many thanks for your insights.
Very good. See you later.